Hey, what's up everybody? It's Rutech. Today I'm going to be telling you about the best 3 $200 gaming monitors that you can get in May of 2022. There's a lot of $200 gaming monitors, like more than you can count, so I went ahead and went through dozens and dozens and found 3 that get you the best bang for your buck. But before we dive straight into it, I first want to tell you about Digital Chill Mart.
DigitalChillMart.com is the best place to get cheap Windows 10 and 11 license keys. If you're building a PC or have built one, but you're still running an unactivated version of Windows, Digital Chill Mart has you covered. Simply go to the front page of their website, scroll down a bit, and you'll find Windows 10 and 11 for great prices. And the prices get better. I have a coupon code for you guys to use. Type in Rutech right here and it'll be instantly applied. Link for DigitalChillMart.com will be in my description.
Now do bear in mind, these monitors are in no particular order. However, I will mention my favorite of the 3 at the end of the video. And as usual, links to buy all of these monitors are in my description. So the first monitor I'm going to talk to you about is the Samsung Odyssey G3. Right now, if you go to Amazon, you can pick this up for $200 flat. It has a size of 24 inches, a refresh rate of 144 Hertz, and a response time of 1 millisecond. These are some pretty typical specs that you'll find in virtually all $200 gaming monitors. The real stuff we want to be talking about is stuff like the panel type and the stand and stuff like that. So as for the panel type, it has a VA panel, which nowadays will get you colors really close to the quality of IPS panels with the bonus of a much higher contrast ratio, 4001 to be exact with this display. When we're talking about the stand, this monitor has a really good one. It can 360-degree rotate as well as pan and tilt. This monitor has a lot of adjustability. And if you're not too big of a curved monitor fan, lucky for you, this one has a flat display. Also, this monitor does not come with built-in speakers. I know that might be a deal breaker for some of you. I recently found out a lot of people actually use the built-in speakers in monitors, which really surprised me. So yeah, sorry, no speakers in this one. And for ports, it has one HDMI, one DisplayPort, and a VGA port, which does come in handy in some certain situations if you have a really old PC or something like that. And last off, Samsung Odyssey monitors are pretty well put together. They're quality monitors. Now let's move on to the number 2 monitor, the Asus VG277Q1A. Had to pull out the script for that one. This monitor is pretty similar to the last monitor with a few key differences. Starting off with the basic stuff, as for size, it's 27 inches, not 24. When it comes to 1080p, you have a much sharper image with a 24-inch screen. However, I'm just really picky. If you get a larger display, you're not really losing anything. You'll just notice the pixels a little bit more than if you were to have a 24-inch display. This is also the brightest monitor on this list, 350 nits compared to 250 with the other 2. For refresh rate, you're getting a beautiful 165 Hertz and a response time of 1 millisecond. Something you should bear in mind, the human eye can only process 13 milliseconds and higher. So the only real advantage you're getting with these milliseconds isn't something that you notice, it's more of if you're in a really competitive game where milliseconds will really count against you. And how about anti-tearing tech? Well, it has G-Sync and AMD FreeSync, so you won't have to be worrying about any screen tearing. Also, it has a VA panel, so for those darker colors, you're gonna see a lot more detail. This specific display has a contrast ratio of 3001, which is pretty typical for most VA monitors. Now, something a little bit unfortunate, the stand. It can only tilt. It can't height adjust, it can't rotate or anything. Just tilt. For some, this isn't a really big deal, but me personally, I really like to be able to adjust the height of my monitor. But hey, this monitor does have built-in stereo speakers, so that kind of a little bit makes up for the lack of height adjustment. And for ports, you have one DisplayPort and 2 HDMIs, so you can plug quite a few devices into this monitor. And lastly, we have the AOC 24G2. You can pick this monitor up for $170 as opposed to its usual $200. So pretty good sale. It's pretty similar to the last 2 monitors we talked about with a few key differences. For starters, size of 24 inches, a response time of 1 millisecond, and a refresh rate of 144 Hertz. Now the big difference here is the panel type. It has an IPS panel. Now when put up against a VA panel, you'll notice that the colors look a bit more vibrant, but the black colors aren't quite as deep. So a little bit of a trade-off. With that being said, the contrast ratio of this monitor is 1000 to 1 compared to 3001 and 4001 with the last monitors. The difference in those dark colors will be pretty noticeable. And anti-tearing is a given. This monitor has FreeSync Premium and G-Sync. And the stand is great. You'll get height, tilt, and pivot adjustments. No rotational adjustment, but that's usually not really used at all unless you want to make your monitor this way. Vertical, that's the word. And for ports, it has one DisplayPort, 2 HDMIs, and 1 VGA, which like I said earlier, having a VGA is a nice to have if you're trying to game using an older computer, like a really old computer. And those are the top 3 monitors for $200. They're all really great, but which one is gonna give you the best value for your money for gaming? This is a really tough one. They're all so great, so it kind of comes down to preference. For me personally, I would go with the Samsung Odyssey G3, and here's why. For starters, it has everything you want in a gaming monitor: low response time, high refresh rate, and it's 24 inches. It also has the best contrast ratio, 4001, so the dark colors will be very deep and visible. Also, it comes from Samsung, a really reputable name, especially when it comes to displays. I also can't forget mentioning that it has a bunch of ports, a nice stand, really slim bezels. It's just the whole package. And yeah, that'll do it for today's video. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Have any comments or questions, drop a comment below. And if you have any suggestions for this new video format, please let me know. This is like my second time doing something like this. So if you guys have any feedback, good or bad, please leave it in the comments. If it's bad, promise it won't make me feel bad. Thanks for watching. Peace out.